Good morning, all of you. Let us continue our physics video tutorial. In the last class, we had done. Today's date is 19th of August 2020. We were doing the characteristics of sound. In the previous class, we had already finished the first characteristic, that is the loudness. We had discussed the factors and on the what factor the loudness depend. Now, today we are going to do the second characteristic, which is called the pitch or shrillness. Okay. Now, pitch is that quantity, or it is that characteristics by which an acute sound or the shrill sound can be distinguished from the grave or a flat sound. In a musical sound, you have two notes, a high note and a low note. High note refers to a high pitch and low note refers to a low pitch. Alright? Now, if you see there, pitch depends on its frequency. Okay, the pitch depends on its frequency. Higher the frequency, higher the pitch. Lower the frequency, lower the pitch. If you just take one example here, let us take a guitar string. Most of you have played a guitar. It has got 6 strings. 2, 3. Okay. Now, if you look at the first string, it is very thin inside, and if you look at the sixth string, it is quite thicker in dimension. The area cross section is more. But as you go down from the sixth to the first string, the area cross section decreases, it becomes thicker to thinner. Now, when the first string is plucked and when the sixth string is plucked, you get a different note. When the first string is plucked, it is a high pitch, very shrill, and in the sixth string it is a flat one and it is a grave sound, because both of them are struck with the same force, but there is a difference in their vibrations, the number of vibrations in a given time. So the frequency is different. So in the sixth string you have a less frequency, so we have a grave note. Okay, that means a flat note, low pitch, and here we have a more number of frequency. That means it is a high or a shrill note. So basically, in the pitch, the most important factor is the frequency. Okay, now let me explain this with the help of a diagram. Let me explain this by taking one example. Suppose you take two notes. They are on a same instrument, like for example in case of this guitar string. Now this can be displayed or shown in a displacement time graph. Okay, so let me draw. Now here we have got displacement time graph. I make a similar graph down there with the same time, so that the time limit is same for both. Okay, and the displacement is also same. Now what happens is, these two notes, they have the same amplitude. Okay, now how they are in this case differing in the pitch, it is shown this. Suppose I draw one wave here, okay, like this. See, the amplitude is same here, and in the second case also I make the same amplitude. Okay, if you look at these two notes, Here what is happening is amplitude is same for both the notes, but what difference do you see here? You have a less number of waves. Here we have a more number of waves, means it has got a less frequency, and this has got more frequency. So this is called a low pitch sound, or it is also called a flat note, and this one is called a high pitch, or it is also called a shrill note. So basically in the pitch, the most important factor is frequency. Now if you look at the examples of pitch, examples, we usually we have observed that, and we know that the woman's voice is higher pitch than the man's voice, because their frequency level is higher in case of a woman's pitch. Now another example is, you must have observed that when the water pitcher or a bucket is put under a tap, and without seeing, we can, by just hearing the sound, we can tell the bucket is being filled up or not, because as the water starts going into the bucket, the sound changes. When the bucket is empty at the beginning, the sound is very flat, which is a flat note, but as soon as it starts getting filled up, the sound becomes shriller and shriller. So by hearing the sound only, we can make out that the water is being filled in the bucket. So basically this is the idea of the pitch. Now there are some other some points which you need to look at the textbook. It is in page number 167. So now we go to the third characteristics of sound, which is called the quality. It is the timbre. Now usually you must have observed that sometimes two singers singing the same song in the same scale, whatever, all that frequency is same, the whatever amplitude is same, the loudness is same, but still there is a difference in their tone, not the tone exactly, in the quality. So the third characteristic is quality, which is also called the timbre. In the quality, what happens is, it is that characteristic or that property which distinguishes two sounds. There are two sounds, both the sounds have the same loudness, they have the same pitch, but they may be emitted by two different instruments or two different sources. See, two sounds basically coming from different source, or sometimes different instrument. Now what happens is, they will have the same loudness, they will have the same pitch. Same loudness means the same amplitude, same pitch means the same, frequency, but they will differ in their quality. So that is that characteristics. Now what factor it depends on? It depends on the waveform. You will get a different waveform. For example, if I draw a simple displacement time graph, let me complete this one wave, or let us complete one something like this, and let me draw another sound. Now here we have a form like this. See, now what do we observe in the figure A and the figure B is that both of them have the same amplitude, they have the same frequency. See the waves, the number of vibrations, but look at the form, it is different. So they will be totally different in case of the form. So basically the characteristics of sound are three: loudness, pitch and quality. In the loudness, it depends upon the factor amplitude. More the amplitude, more the loudness. In the pitch, it It depends on the frequency. More the frequency, higher the pitch, and in the quality it depends upon the waveform. Here the quality, it depends, the quality can be also what you call subjective property, because it is dependent on the sensation of the perceiver or the receiver. So we have almost completed the sound in the reduced syllabus. So these are the main topic that you need to focus on. Now your what you call assignments which you have to do. Exercise in the textbook, which is on page number 169 and page number 170. There are around, I think, 20 exercises are there. You need to do all that in your exercise copy, and you have to submit it to me within 2 to 3 days. Thank you very much.